lesson 4.7, use unit rates. All right, how can you solve problems using unit rates? The Champy family is traveling from Arizona to Texas. On the first part of the trip, they drove 500 miles in 10 hours. If they continue driving at the same rate, how many hours will it take them to drive 750 miles? It says you can use equivalent ratios to find the number of hours it will take the Champy family to drive 750 miles. You may need to find a unit rate before you can write equivalent ratios. So here's what we're doing. We've got the rate of 500 miles in 10 hours. We need to know how long it's going to take them to travel 750 miles. Is there anything that you can multiply 500 times to get 750? No. So Avery, what we're going to have to do is find the unit rate, which means we need a 1 on the bottom. So what are we going to divide by to get this to be a 1? Shout it out. 10. 10 on top, 10 on bottom. What is 10 hours divided by 10? 1. 1 hour. What is 500 miles divided by 10?
50 miles.
50 miles. So, because when you divide by 10, you just take off one of the zeros. I should say when you divide a number that ends in 0 by 10, you just take off one of the zeros. Now we have a unit rate, 50 miles in 1 hour. What do you multiply 50 by to get 750? Riley? 15. And if you do it to the bottom,
You do it to the top.
or I should say if you do it to the top, you do it to the bottom. What is 1 hour times 15? 15 hours. So we just got the answer that 750 miles will take them 15 hours. Not right now, just you'll be all right. Okay? So here's what I want you to write down. The first space, we're going to divide 510 both by 10. That gives us 50 over 1. 50 over 1 times 15 over 15 gives us 750 over something. Says write ratios that compare, I'm right up here, write ratios that compare miles to hours. 750 is not a multiple of 500, so we couldn't multiply 500 times something and get 750. It says write the known rate as a unit rate. So that's what we did right here. We took 500 over 10 divided by 10 over 10 and got 50 over 1. And you can see they're writing the answer down underneath each time. We write an equivalent rate by multiplying the numerator and denominator by the same value, which was 15. We multiply 50 by 15 to get 750, so we multiply the denominator by 15 also. When we do that, we get 750 over 15. The numerators right here are the same, so the denominators are equal to each other. The unknown value is 15, so it will take the family 15 hours to drive 750 miles. question, why did you need to find a unit rate first? Why did we have to find a unit rate first? Ryan?
Because you can't multiply 500 by anything to get 750.
Perfect answer. Because we couldn't multiply 500 times anything to get 750. You can give yourself a point, Ryan. Okay. All right. Who mows their yard sometimes?
Not my yard.
Okay. You mow other people's yards? You have before? You guys had a little business going during COVID, didn't you? You and Alex? Yeah. Kinda. You were working on it. I think it's amazing. It's a great way to earn money, and I know that there's people over at the junior high and high school that do it. And so this guy, Kenyon, he earns $105 for mowing 3 lawns. He's trying to figure out how much he would earn if he mowed 10 lawns. So to start out with, he's got the rate of $105 for 3 lawns.
People are paying a lot.
We'll see how much they're paying.
I was about to say,
Is there anything that we can multiply 3 by to get 10? No. So what do we need to do?
find the unit rate.
Find the unit rate and find out how much he makes for every single lawn. And then whatever he makes for every lawn, we'll multiply it by 10, because that's how many we want to know. All right, so we divide 105 and 3 by 3. That gives us the rate for 1 lawn. So 105 divided by 3. I'm going to come over here and do that. Casey, can you divide 1 by 3? No. Can you divide 10 by 3? How many times will 3 go into 10?
2.
No?
1.
Shout it out.
3
times. 3 times 3 is what? 9. 10 minus 9 is 1. 1 is less than 3, so we can bring down the 5. 3 goes into 15.
5 times.
5 times 3 is 15. 15 minus 15 is 0. 0 is less than 3. There's nothing left to bring down. So how much money does Kenyon charge for each lawn? $35. Now, we need to figure out how much money he will make for 10 lawns. What do we multiply 1 by to get 10? 10, and if we do it to the bottom? So 35 times 10. Well, we start with 35 times 1, which is 35, and we bring over our 0. So for 10 lawns, he would make $350. They also showed a bar model. So here's each one of these rectangles represents a lawn. So in 3 lawns, he makes $105. In 10 lawns, we don't know. That's what we had to figure out. So let's go down here. You need to find the value represented by 10 units, because that's how many units we have here, right? Okay, so first we've got to write a unit rate. We divided 105 and 3 by 3. That gave us $35 for 1 lawn. 1 unit represents $35. 10 units are 10 times 1 unit, so 10 units equals 10 times 35. 10 times 35 equals $350. So Kenyon will earn $350 for mowing 10 lawns. And this right here is exactly what I'm going to want to see on for your problems today, on the ones where we have to find the unit rate. So where you find the unit rate, and then you multiply to find the equivalent ratio for, or equivalent rate for the unit rate. All right. Last summer, Kenyon earned $210 for mowing 7 lawns. How much did he earn for mowing 5 lawns last summer? So he charged a different amount last summer, I think. So let's see. It says you draw a bar model. We're not going to do that. We're just going to do what I just showed you. Okay, so we start with $210 for 7 lawns. We're going to divide, because is there anything that we can divide 7 by to equal 5?
Nope.
No, so we have to do the unit rate first. So we've got to divide by 7 over 7. That will give us, using the basic fact, 21 divided by 7 is 3. Then we bring over the 0, so $30 for 1 lawn. If we want to know how much he made for 5 lawns, we keep, since we're talking about lawns on the bottom, we keep that on the bottom. So what do you multiply 1 times to get 5?
5.
And if you do it to the bottom,
Do it to the top.
so 3 times 5 is 15 with a 0 behind it. So $150 for 5 lawns. And that is what I'm going to put a box around, because that's my answer. All right. So this one says, use the unit rate to find the unknown value. They want us to set up a comparison. Is there anything you can multiply 6 by to get 10? No. So we're going to have to start with a unit rate. So we're going to use 6 and 3. We're going to divide by the bottom number, 3 over 3. Do you need some?
Oh.
Ryan, will you get that? Okay, so 6 divided by 3 is what? 2. And then we ask ourselves, what do you multiply 2 times to get 10? 5. And if you do it to the top?
Do it to the bottom.
Okay, so we're going to do, just stick it on my table. Thank you, Ryan. So we multiply by 5, and that gives us 10 on top and what on bottom?
5.
5. So the unknown value, which they're using a little gray square to represent, is 5. So back in that original problem, let's see if that makes sense. Where's in 6 over 3, where's the smaller number? On the bottom. So if we put a 5 here, is 5 smaller than 10? Yep. If you simplified, what is 6 divided by 3? 2. What's 10 divided by 5? 2. So it makes sense. Yes. Okay. Now we're going to move over to number 2. So that is 6/8 equals something over 20. Is there anything you can multiply 8 by to get 20?
Nope.
Nope. So we have to find the unit rate. And so 8, the bigger number's on the bottom. So we've got to divide the 6 and 8 by 8. And now 8 divided by 8 is of course 1. But we've got to divide 6 by 8. 6 divided by 8. Can you divide 6 marbles by 8 kids?
No.
No, so we have to add a decimal point and a 0 and a decimal point and a 0. Can you divide 60 marbles by 8? Yep. How many times does 8 go into 60? 7 times. 7 times 8 is 56. 60 minus 56 is 4. 4 is less than 8. There's nothing left to bring down except, since we have a remainder on a decimal problem, we have to add a 0 and bring it down. How many times will 8 go into 40?
5 times.
5 times. 5 times 8 is 40. So we end up with the numerator of 75 hundredths on top. Okay, now, what can we multiply 1 times to get 20? 20. And if we do it to the bottom, so we're going to multiply 1 times 20 and 75 hundredths times 20. So I've got 75 hundredths times 20. 0 times 5. 0 times 7. 0 times 0. Now we're moving over to the tens place, so we put a 0 placeholder. 2 times 5.
10.
Put down the 0, carry the 1. 2 times 7.
14.
Plus 1.
15.
Put down the 5, carry the 1. 2 times 0.
0.
Plus 1 more. 1. Add those together, we get 1,500. Now, looking back in the problem, how many digits are behind a decimal? 2. So that means in our answer, we need to have 2 numbers behind the decimal. Since they're just zeros behind the decimal, we can actually get rid of them. So our answer then is 15 over 20. So the unknown value equals 15. Okay, on your own, but we're going to do these together. All right. 40 over 8. Can you multiply 40 times anything and get 5? Sorry, 45. No. Okay. So we got to find the unit rate. So here's what I want you to write down. 40. I'm going to make my print smaller on these. Okay, so 40 over 8. What do we divide by?
8 over 8.
8 over 8, which gives us 5 over 1. Is there something that you can multiply 5 times to get 45?
9.
And if we do it to the top, 1 times 9 is 9. So the missing value is 9. So what should go under the 45 is 9. All right. 42 over 14. There's nothing that we can divide 14 by to get 5. So we need to find the unit rate. 42 over 14 divided by 14 over 14 gives us 3 over 1. Because 14 times 3, I know, is 42. Okay, now, what do we multiply 1 by to give us a 5? 5. If we do it to the bottom, so 3 times 5 is 15. So our missing value in this problem is 15. Is there something you can multiply 2 times to get 8? 4. Let me put it this way. Is there something you can divide 8 by to get 2? What? 4. So that means to get from 56 to this, we're going to do what? Divide by 4. So this one's a little bit simpler. We're going to do 56 divided by 4. 4 goes into 5 once, minus 4, 1, bring down the 6. 4 goes into 16 4 times. So we end up with 14 over 2 being equivalent to 56 over 8. We can check that by saying, what do you multiply 2 times to get 8? 4. 14 times 4 should be 56. We'll double check it. 4 times 4 is 16. Put down the 6, carry the 1. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 more. Boom. Works. So 14 is our missing value. Is there something you can multiply 4 times to get 13? Nope, we gotta do the unit rate. Okay, so 26 over 13 divided by what? 13 over 13 gives us what?
2 over 1.
Good, Briley, 2 over 1. Is there, what can we multiply 1 times to get 4?
4.
We do it to the bottom.
2 to the top.
So the missing value is 8. Good. All right. These don't tell us to find the unit rate. This says draw a bar model to find the unknown value. We're actually going to look at these as fractions, or this is a fraction. So 4 over 32, is that in simplest form?
No.
No. What is the simple? Well, because first of all, can you multiply 4 times anything and get 9?
No.
No. But let's check and see if that changes if we do simplest form. What can you divide both 4 and 32 by?
4.
4. Okay? 4 divided by 4 is 1. 32 divided by 4 is 8. So the simplest form for 4 over 32 is 1 over 8. Is there something that you can multiply 1 by to get a 9 on top? 9. And if we do it to the top, we do it to the bottom. What is 8 times 9?
72.
So the missing value is 72. Okay, 9 over 3. How do you get from 3 to 9? What do you multiply by?
Multiply by 3.
Okay, so the relationship, what do you need? No, we have 3 problems left. The relationship between the denominator and numerator is you go to the denominator and times by 3. 3 times 3 is 9. What's 4 times 3?
12.
12. So 12 is the missing value. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So it would be just like this. If you had, if you had 2 over 1, what do you and you wanted to see what would go on top if you had 7, okay? What do you multiply 1 times to get 2? 2. What's 7 times 2? 14. So 1 times 7 is 7, 2 times 7 is 14. So it works that way too, up and down, okay? Last one that we're gonna do together. Can you multiply 7 times anything to get 14?
2.
Times 2. Times 2 times 2. What's the unknown value?
18.
18. So over here we did 3 times 3 and then we did 4 times 3. Okay, so number 10 is the tricky one. I'm going to let you guys try to do number 10 on your own.